You think you're being pulled away? But the truth is, you're building walls around yourself. Every time you say just 5 minutes, you're laying down another brick. But these bricks don't build a home. They're building a dopamine bunker. And inside that bunker, it's quick, it's easy, it feels good. But outside, it's everything you don't feel ready to face. So you stay inside, call it rest. But really, you're under lockdown. No chains, no guards, just Reflex. And you live there, like there's no way out. But here's the twist. You're the one who locked the door from the inside. And then you hid the key. Worse, you started believing it's better inside. You thought you were protecting yourself. But really, you're shutting yourself down. Welcome to No Brain, Fix Habit. This isn't another motivational channel. We dissect your brain and question your life. Here we mix behavioral science with brutal honesty to rebuild habits that actually last. If you're tired of surface-level hacks and ready to rewire from the root, you're home. Part 1. Escape overload. Why your brain runs from stillness. You're not avoiding work because you're lazy. You're avoiding what comes up the moment you slow down. Because in the quiet, everything you've buried starts to show. The worries, the unfinished dreams, the questions you don't want to answer. And your brain, it doesn't like that one bit. It takes the easy route, more noise, more distraction. Because to your brain, silence isn't peace, it's an alarm. A blank space it can't control. And it will do anything to fill that space. It doesn't fix the problem, it just makes you forget it's there. A 2021 Harvard study showed that when left alone, 67% of people chose to do something, even give themselves a mild shock. Translation, your brain won't stay still. It needs something, anything to feel in control. That's how a reflex begins. When silence knocks and you run, your brain takes notes. Escape equals relief. And stillness equals threat. A 2021 UCLA study confirmed, if a behavior eases anxiety even once, your brain starts prioritizing it. Distraction used to be a choice. Now it's just what happens. It's no longer a habit, it's the system now. A 2023 University of Toronto study found that the overstimulated brains create micro-distractions every 40 to 60 seconds. And the worst part? You think you're resting, but your brain's still fighting. So, if you feel like you're not moving forward, maybe you're being run by a reflex you never meant to build. And that reflex, it's not just keeping you stuck, it's fooling you into thinking you're recovering when you're really just getting more drained. Part 2. False recovery. Why your breaks make you more drained. The issue isn't that you're giving up. You're just trying to recover, but doing it in ways that leave you even more drained. Because you're not really resting. You're just trading one stimulus for another. You tell yourself, I just need a quick break to unwind. You walk away from work, straight into a flood of digital noise. Your brain doesn't get a break. It gets ambushed by waves of input. A 2021 study from the University of Illinois found, working nonstop cuts performance by 30%, but taking the wrong kind of breaks causes the same drop. Meaning, if you jump from tasks to TikTok, to texts, to photos, to more videos, you're not resting. You're feeding a tornado of distraction. So after an hour of rest, you feel just as tired as when you started. Because those fake breaks only numb the discomfort. They don't restore anything. The more you rest that way, the more drained you become. Until you realize you're stuck in a loop of rest that never recharges you. A 2023 UCLA study found, watching fast-paced content after work extends mental fatigue by up to 40 minutes. You think it's a recharge, but it's just an illusion. The way you rest is like plugging your charger into a burnt-out socket. Want actual recovery? Choose something that asks absolutely nothing from your brain. Not videos, not news, not conversations. But this, blank space, deep breath, stillness. The thing you've been dodging is the very thing that can heal you. And that's why you rest so often, but always stay tired. It's time to shut off what's silently draining you and turn on what truly brings you back to life. Part 3. Hidden overload. Why restarting feels impossible. You've turned off the notifications. You took the proper break. And still, your mind refuses to reboot. This isn't about being weak, it's about your brain being stuck in a traffic jam of thoughts. Your brain? It's running like a browser with 40 tabs open, all competing for attention. Every one of those tabs eats up a chunk of your emotional RAM, whether you notice it or not. You think you're resting, but deep down, your brain's still quietly loading in the background. Harvard Business Review 2017 describes this as task residue, mental leftovers that stick around. Even when you walk away from a task, part of your brain stays stuck there, on loop. The result? You take a break, but nothing actually gets released or cleared. That's why you feel wiped out, even when you haven't lifted a finger. That feeling of "I just can't start" isn't laziness, it's mental gridlock. University of Wisconsin 2020 found when you leave 3 to 5 tasks unfinished, your brain stays in low-level alert mode. You don't feel it directly, but your nervous system stays quietly locked in fight or flight. Resting the wrong way doesn't relieve pressure, it deepens the trap you're already stuck in. You don't need more focus. You need to free up space in your mental RAM. The truth is, no one ever taught you how to clear your mental cache. We were taught how to switch on, never how to shut down. Most people aren't unmotivated, they're just overloaded with invisible weight. And to recover energy, it's not about adding more, it's about removing what's crushing you. And that's exactly what we're going to do, starting in the next part. Part 4. How to disarm the reflex before it pulls you back. You're just getting pulled before you even notice it. It doesn't start with a choice, it starts with a feeling, a flicker of discomfort, a tiny hesitation, a whisper from your brain. And in that moment, you grab your phone, open Instagram, reach for a snack. A 2022 study from MIT found that 43% of our daily actions are automatic habits, done without conscious awareness. Old habits are like forest trails. They're easier to walk than carving a new path, and your brain always chooses the path of least resistance. That's not weak will, that's neurophysics. Want to break it? First, you have to see the loop. Harvard Neuroscience 2023 found when people label their reflexes, behavioral control centers activate up to 34% more. So next time you say just a quick break, pause for 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds, but enough to reboot your decision center. And that's when the choice becomes yours again. A 2021 UCLA study showed inserting a 5-second pause before habitual actions reduced unconscious behavior by 40% in just 3 weeks. But you can't just not do it. You need to do something else. Insert a pattern break. Stand up, drink water, take a breath, and every pattern break dims the old path and lights up the new. It's like redirecting a stream, not stopping it, just shifting it. You're not controlling yourself. You're rebuilding your system. Columbia University showed people who practiced delay and redirect reduced relapse behavior by up to 52%. And now, it's time to build that exit, with actions that leave no way back. Part 5. Make it unmissable. How to leave no choice but action. Now you've seen the loop, and you know it won't vanish on its own. If you want out, you have to build the exit. Not with willpower, with structure. Start with things you can't ignore. Set a fixed time for the thing you've been avoiding. Every morning, sit still for 2 minutes. No phone, no noise, just to remind your brain nothing is urgent. Before you start anything, don't jump in. Wait for 10 full breaths. That's how you reclaim the controls. Remove one thing that pulls you, an app, a tab, a shortcut. Each one you delete opens another door. If you have to restart every time, you'll lose. So keep things open. Instead, take a 5-minute walk, or play instrumental music. Let your brain cool down before you load it again. When you schedule it, you make it real. When you attach action to an existing habit, it stops needing motivation. Still feels hard? Break it in half. Just do part of it. Even if it's 2 minutes, 1 sentence, a single step. Because starting is the only part you control. The rest, momentum takes care of that. Build a habit you can do, even when your mind is a mess. That's a habit that survives. One that doesn't depend on emotion. I'll see you in the next video. We've got more to build.